I have something interesting that just popped up.
Okay.
So I have an article off of Loudwire. Seattle police respond to new Kurt Cobain homicide report.
What?
And this is music, law and order, and conspiracy craziness. And I just feel like that might be entertaining. So I'm going to read this article or parts of it. Like I said, anybody who's interested in reading the entire article, it is off of Loudwire and just got published today, February 11th. Was Kurt Cobain's death an actual homicide? An unofficial private sector team of forensic scientists recently conducted their own investigation of the autopsy and crime scene photos and have suggested that their findings were not consistent with that of an instantaneous gunshot death. A Seattle police and medical examiner have both weighed in with new statements responding to the reports. As has been reported for years, Cobain died on April 5th, 1994, of an apparent self-inflicted wound. The King County medical examiner ruled that the Nirvana singer had taken his own life at the time of his passing. Independent researcher Michelle Wilkins, who was part of the investigative team, spoke with the Daily Mail about their findings. It was her belief in speaking with the paper that the exhaustive review of the autopsy findings were not consistent with that of an instantaneous gunshot death. A peer-reviewed paper presented 10 points of evidence that suggested that the Nirvana singer had been confronted by one or more assailants who had forced a drug overdose on the musician before staging the body and forging a suicide note. You have any thoughts?
I was really into the Nirvana stuff when I was like a young teenager. And I remember all the rumors about, oh, Courtney had him killed, da, 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 all of that. I think people want that more than that's actually reality.
Yeah, I'm going to
Hmm.
agree completely with that. Nobody, I think no Nirvana fan specifically wants to believe that he ate a shotgun.
I read his diary when I was a teenager. It just seemed like he hated being famous and it was a burden to him and he didn't want to do it anymore. And that was the only way he saw out.
I mean, unfortunately, but it probably was the only way to get out.
From the level of fame he had at the time, definitely.
Right. That was a machine.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting, and oh boy, I could get killed by Nirvana fans for this, but it would have been interesting to see what would have happened if he would have lived until it all went away.
Yeah. When
You
Grunge
know?
died. Yeah. Do you think he'd be like Pearl Jam? Pearl Jam still has relevance in the sense that they can still go places and pack arenas. Do you think
Well,
he would
if
still have that, or do you think he would be Blind Melon? No, Blind
no,
Melon's not fair. Blind Melon's not fair. That's not
yeah,
fair.
because he died of a
Because yeah,
drug
he died
overdose, didn't he? From what you said, I would think that like he would be a recluse.
like a recluse. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and just he would have jumped out of the spotlight completely. It would have just been interesting to see like when like he didn't want it
No,
and
not
that's
like he had it.
okay.
No, of course not.
But I wonder if somebody was trying to take it away from him, if he would have ended up wanting it because somebody was taking it away from him. You
Sure.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, because
I
because
think
you take
there's
it
a
for granted while you have it.
yeah, I think there's a difference. And look, I'm not saying that he should have ate a shotgun because of it. If he didn't want to do it anymore, as hard as it would have been, and as many, because you know, their Nirvana was at a level where that was a corporation.
Right.
He was putting food in people's mouths, and I think that, and I've heard that countless times from Gene and Paul. And I've heard it. My God, I heard Duff McKagan did an interview during COVID that they were paying their entire crew because they couldn't go to work. And that, I don't know whether you know that or not, but that's usually not the way it works.
during COVID.
Like, no, like when a band goes out on tour,
Uh,
you're independent contractors. So when the tour is over, you can go where you
Find
want
another job.
and go with who you want. And only, I guess it's usually a small amount of people the bands keep that they want over and over again. Well, what Guns N' Roses did is when they got shut down for COVID, like they kept their entire crew and paid their entire crew. And I don't know how long they paid them, but they paid them because they felt like they owed it to them. So
It's dope.
I think that comes into play even for someone like Kurt Cobain that says, I don't want to do this anymore and this is too much. Like all these people, he's supporting a lot of people. And if he walks away, they're in trouble.
Everybody
So
is.
it would have been interesting to see. I mean, I got to tell you, like off the top of my head, I think most of these conspiracy theories turn out to be bullshit.
Definitely.
And I think in this case, when you have a he was the number one rock star in the world at the time. He had a debilitating drug addiction. Yeah, everything points to he had
Right.
had enough and he ate his shotgun to me.
Me too.
The fact that, it was what 1994, now it's 2026 and now we're going to reinvestigate it. I think it's a little late, maybe. I don't
Well, it
know,
doesn't
but
pass the smell test, man.
no, it doesn't. If you're a Nirvana fan, move on. Whether he killed himself or somebody killed him, regardless, he ain't coming back. So I think they made two albums. Like, enjoy those two albums. And drugs are bad, kids, especially heroin.
Especially heroin.
I've never come across a drug worse than heroin.